Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ashley and I'm making this video as a real estate agent just to explain the steps and what to expect. I have been in real estate for literally only about a month, and I have gotten my license in January and I have found a broker at the beginning of February. I know a lot of people don't exactly know where to start off, what it takes to become a real estate agent. So that's why I wanted to make this YouTube video, just to kind of explain all that. I just wanted to start off by introducing myself. Again, my name is Ashley and I am 30 years old and I have two beautiful daughters who are 6 and 4 years old. I live here in Jacksonville, Florida, and it is a beautiful day out today. It's just a little bit breezy. My papers are flying around everywhere, but other than that, it is beautiful. It's always sunny. I mean, we have our cold days. It's a little chilly today, but I'm enjoying it. I love it. It's a great place to move. If you want to move to Jacksonville, Florida, you can hit me up. I got into real estate because I've been a stay-at-home mom and wife for the past 6 years with my daughters, and not that motherhood isn't, stay-at-home wifing isn't very fulfilling, but I decided one day that I just wanted to do something else for myself. I wanted to do something else for myself, my family, and just my community. So the first step that I would recommend taking is to do your research and look at everything that a real estate agent does. It's not as simple as just showing somebody a house, getting them to sign paperwork, and then boom, you're paid. There is a lot more to it. I know a lot more than I expected, which is not a bad thing, but it's just like any career, any job. You have to put in some work, and with real estate, how much work you put in is how much work you're going to get out of it. Definitely do your research. Look at the pros and cons, how much traveling you're gonna do, what you would need to do, how much time you would have that you think that you're gonna put into it. And if it's something that you think that you wanna do, something that's interesting, it's a very good career choice, then definitely keep watching this video. And your next step is going to be to find a course. It's a 63-hour course. It's the very first step of your list. And I took mine online. They have in person and they also have online. And they have morning classes, afternoon classes, they have all sorts. So you'll be able to find one that goes around your schedule that you need to. I chose at night. It was from 6 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. It was about a week and a half. I think that some of them can run about a week if maybe you do the morning classes. I think the morning ones might be a little bit longer, that's why. It just really depends, but you would need to take your 63-hour course and pass the 63-hour course exam at the end. After you pass your course exam, then you will need to submit your fingerprints and a application, and you're going to go to myfloridalicense.com in order to fill out that application. There is a fee to do both your fingerprints and submit your application, but once you submit your application and it gets approved, you will have your license, but it will be inactive. So in order for your license to technically become active and for you to be able to use it, you will need to pass the Pearson VUE state exam. And you just go to Pearson VUE website. They're gonna let you know all that and stuff. So the exam for me, I'm not gonna lie, I was very stressed out about this exam. I would read about it and you kind of get a little scared because it said only a small percentage passes or even passes on the first time, and I didn't want to have to keep retaking it. I didn't want to have to keep paying for it. I just wanted to get in there. I just wanted to get in and start my career. A little bit about the state exam is that when you do schedule your appointment, after you pay for your application and your fingerprints and stuff, once you set an appointment to take your state exam, they do send you an email, and somewhere in the email they do have a paper that will list what the exam is going to go over. Now, the first time I looked at that list, I started immediately just going in the book that they give you during your course, and I started reading all the points. I said, okay, if I just go over the points, then I should be able to do good on the exam, right? Well, the exam is so hard because it's not really cut and dry. It's not specific. Hey, what is the definition of this word? What does it mean? It's not that simple. The way that I look at it is that you should learn the terms, learn situations, and then the exam will ask you questions on pretty much, in my opinion, like problem solving it in a way. And I think that that's why it's so hard. At least for me it was. You hear two different sides of it. Some people said, yeah, it's really easy to get your real estate license, and then some people are like, oh my gosh, like I stress out about the exam like I did. Obviously it's just opinion based, it just depends on you. For me personally, everything was easy up until the state exam. I did study days on end for the exam. I applied to take the exam in middle of December, and I scheduled to take it the middle of January. And I thought that's plenty of time after the holidays, after all the birthdays that I have in December. I have a lot of birthdays in my family in December. I said that's perfect amount of time to finish all that and still have a lot of time to study. And that test date came up real fast, and it came up so fast that when it was a couple days before to take the exam, I said, you know what? I need another week at least. So I immediately went online, immediately rescheduled, and I'm so happy that I did, because you just have to give yourself the amount of time that you think that you need, no matter if it's, I think that you should at least give it maybe, close to a month to study, to prepare, because there's a lot of information, a lot of cramming. Obviously, when you study, give your brain a little bit of time to retain the information, or else your head's just gonna feel like jello. Another thing that I did is there are plenty of courses separate that you can purchase online that are strictly to help you prepare for the state exam. I took one, I want to say it was on Magnolia School, and I think that was also based here in Florida, and it was very helpful. The instructor broke it down as to what type of questions. Legally, they cannot tell you what questions. They don't really even know exactly what questions. They know the general questions, but legally they cannot tell you, or else they will get in trouble. But they did a really good job in assisting me, and I felt much better. I felt so much more confident in taking my exam. And I did pass on the first try. Thank goodness. I'm so happy about that. But if you don't, it's okay, because a lot of people don't. That's just, I do like to think maybe I studied really hard, it paid off, and maybe I got a little bit lucky on some of the questions too. But I think that you definitely need to study, definitely need to use the resources that you can find. It will definitely come in handy. So again, if you don't pass your state exam on the first try, second try, I have heard stories of people not passing the fourth time, fifth time. Don't give up. It's a very hard test. It might be a little harder than necessary, to be honest, but I'm not the one who makes that stuff up. But yeah, you got it. Just do your best and don't give up. After the exam portion and you passed, congratulations. Next, you have to find a broker. And as soon as you actually submit your application to begin with, you will probably go ahead and start getting bombarded by texts, calls, emails from all these brokerages. And that's a good thing, because then you have options. You hear of brokerages that you've maybe never heard before. My opinion, I would just write them down, look them up, and if they look appealing to you, then make a list of all the ones that you're interested in, give them a call, schedule an interview with them. So the interview process is a little bit different when it comes to real estate. It is a two-way interview. They are going to interview you, and you're going to interview them. They obviously want to make sure that you are in it to win it, and you want to interview them to make sure that they are the right type of brokerage for you. I felt it a little awkward just because I've never interviewed anybody before. I didn't know what type of questions to ask. I was like, I'm not quite sure. So what you have to do is you just Google, what questions you ask in a real estate interview, or what questions do you ask a brokerage. And it's going to be questions like, what's your commission split? What type of training do you offer? How are leads dispersed and stuff? So you will just want to read up on that. Find a brokerage that kind of answers the questions that sound good to you, one that you enjoy, one that you like. You want to make sure that it's a brokerage that's going to fit your needs. There's some that are more of like a family dynamic, and then there's some that I think are more of a hey do you boo boo type dynamic, and either one is just your personal opinion. I personally wanted a family type where they get together often and stuff, and I have found that with my brokerage. I'm very happy about that. They're very supportive. The training is amazing. We do events together all the time. My broker is amazing. She's always there to help me. I have a mentor. You also want to ask that too, if they offer any mentorship programs. I do have a mentor, and she is going to be with me for my first 4 transactions, which makes me feel a lot better about the whole thing. So I overall just have really good support in my brokerage. They're always willing to help. Everybody there's willing to help. Everyone's willing to show me what to do and stuff, because you can get a little lost. It definitely helps to have a very supportive brokerage. After you have found your brokerage, you will join your association. The brokerage I'm in, and in Jacksonville, Florida, is usually NEFAR, which is the Northeast Florida Association of Realtors. Blah, blah, blah. I messed that up. It's long. There's a lot of acronyms in real estate, a lot of acronyms, hard to remember. I have a really bad memory, so sometimes I might fumble with the acronyms that I'm saying. But your broker will help you with that. And it is some fees and stuff, but that's just how it goes. That's just the name of the game. You got to pay to play. What I've learned in real estate so far is that it is your business. It is your baby. And the amount of time that you put into it is the amount of time that is going to pay off. You make your own schedule. You have freedom to kind of do this how you want to. And it's really hard to get off track. It's really hard to say, hey, I get to wake up at any time that I want. I think that you should have a little bit of discipline because you don't have a boss to more so tell you, hey, where are you? Like, clock in, clock out. It can get a little hard to get off. It can be a little easy to get off track. One of the things that they mention is to maybe try to time block. And I realized that I've heard from people that time blocking is good for some don't like it. I personally, after being a month here, I'm starting to realize that I do need to get into a time blocking schedule, and I'm already starting to try to find one that works for me. And time blocking is pretty much where you spend a few hours here doing this, and then you move on to this, and you pretty much plan out your day or your week so that you're a little bit more organized with it, since again, this is your business and you kind of are organizing it however you kind of want to. Time blocking is also good too, because there is a lot of setting up. There is a lot of making your accounts, making your logins, setting up your profiles on all these different websites. And I realized, of course, you have to go through like some trainings and stuff like that in order to even know like what you're doing, how to use the programs and stuff. But eventually, the way that it works in real estate is that it's ongoing training, it's ongoing education. I mean, there's people who do it for 10 years, 15 years, and they still have to attend webinars and trainings. It's a lot of webinars, a lot of scheduling live webinars, and it's because there's just so much to learn, there's so much education, and they can't possibly teach it to you all in just a short amount of time. So you have to be ready to learn, you have to be willing to learn in order to grow your business and to grow in real estate in general. With all that being said, so far, being in real estate for about a month now, I am enjoying it. I love it. I love being able to create my own schedule. I have already started interacting with a few people, making phone calls, and I get a little nervous, of course, making phone calls. I think a lot of people do, especially being a stay-at-home mom for so long. I didn't really like talk to that many people, like on the phone especially and stuff. So it's a little different for me, but you have to be uncomfortable in order to grow. You have to do things out of your comfort zone, and eventually you'll realize, hey, maybe this isn't so bad. you know, there will be your own way. You'll find your groove. You have to find your groove, find your way of doing things that you like and things that you feel like are working for you. Real estate is something that you've been looking into and you're not so sure about. Again, this whole video is just my opinion on, you know, how you should do things, and of course some of the steps to do things and everything in my experience. And so far, I'm loving it. I'm so happy that I've done it and took this step forward. It's always been on my mind. And one day I eventually said, you know what, let's do this. And you just have to do that. You have to push yourself in order to do it. You have to motivate yourself and discipline yourself. And you'll be really happy when you do. And if I can do it, if everybody else can do it, then you can do it too. So I hope that you really enjoyed my YouTube video, and I will be uploading more. My contents are probably going to include just like what I'm doing, you know, maybe some events, you know, some neighborhoods in the area and stuff like that. I have already done a couple showings and stuff, and you know, so maybe some videos about those and everything, just to kind of give an inside look on like how to do it and stuff. And I'm learning, and it's a learning process, and so far I'm very happy with my decision. So just know that you can do it, and I believe in you.